Hey, how's it going, everyone? Thank you for joining Shop Talk Live. My name is Rick Ramirez, also known as Rick's 2 Cents, along with my fellow co-host Steve from Steve Makes Everything.
I'm hopefully not delayed like Rick is. You're delayed again. So it wasn't your echo or your noise canceling.
It was, and Roger from Mexico, from Roger's Shop.
Yeah. Buenas tardes. They play at the Carmen, Mexico.
Looks like we got a ton of people already in the live with comments.
That's already about 10 more words of Spanish than I know.
I know we don't normally talk politics, and we try not to, but I just want to say one thing. We've all drank a little too much one night at one point in our life, and the next morning we had to apologize for what we may have said or done. It's kind of how I feel about our country right now. So sounds like the whole world's kind of trying to go against us. All I got to say, he's our president. He's not our king. So let's not rub each other the wrong way that later on we just can't make up and be friends again. That's all I'm saying. We got a good thing going.
I don't know. When people ask me about it, I just tell them it's all your fault. Just blame that Rick guy. Here's his address. I have it now.
Oh, man.
Oh, Chris says, good day from Perth down under. Good day from Fish Lake. There you go, Rick.
Hey, Chris.
So what fun we will have today, Chris.
There you go.
Hi from Cleveland, Ohio, and good day, Chris, from Tony.
So, Roger, what are you drinking in Mexico today? Modelo time.
I don't think he heard you. Oh, he did hear you.
Captain Morgan.
Morgan again.
Santa's laser engraving. Hello, everybody. I'll just be listening tonight, finishing the painting of my office. Tar Heel Blue. Oh, wow.
Tar Heel Blue. Nice.
Hey, Tony. Hey, Tony.
It's a uniquely American color, I guess. We don't have Tar Heels here.
Rick said, is it
I'm not even sure what a Tar Heel is.
It is time.
Like
it is the time.
College team, right? College football.
No, I appreciate it. We can see definitely the people in the live start piling in.
Rick says he's the impatient type. Well, you'll have that. Yeah, Rick, we lost your audio.
Can you hear me?
I didn't. You're massively delayed. Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
You don't hear me?
That almost sounds Asian.
Oh, I don't. He seems to be okay, other than the 2 seconds.
Yeah, Rick,
delay.
we lost your audio.
Talk to me, Goose. No, he's gone.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you, but oddly, you're back into a badly dubbed Asian kung fu movie.
Okay, did I lose everybody's audio, or is it just me?
It's just you. Oh boy, you never got that Cat 8 cable, did you, Rick?
74-year-old Honda. What did it say?
Padawan, the Star Wars reference. He's a student.
Sorry, I don't get that one. So Rick said, coffee in hand, printer will be busy for another 90 minutes. My cat stopped bothering me, just waiting on knowledge. We'll host. Thank you.
When are they getting here?
There's no additional guests. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to disappoint you.
See, Andrew's in the house. I thought you were gonna send me a text message today, Andrew.
Roger,
not that I would have had time.
For a second. Chris said, coffee in hand. You mean I don't have coffee IV set up yet?
Yeah, Andrew's
well, I lost my audio. I'm going to have to get on here and try to figure out what the heck's going on.
Just restart.
Yeah. Said, more the whiskey guy here, but it's 8:30 p.m. here. My day is gone. Yeah, it's 6:30 my time. Chris said it's 8:20 a.m. here. A bit early for whiskey. Give me an hour. There you go.
Yeah, he's exactly like 12 hours away from us. From
That's
Andrew
crazy.
and I. and Tim if he's on. Tim Sands.
Crick said, no, my IV is worn out, so I'm back to coffee cup. I should mention my cup is 40 ounce. I've already a daily shot of Bardrum.
Bourbon. Well,
bourbon.
It should bourbon. It should be bourbon.
Bourbon.
So my wife and I had matching coffee cups. There were these designer things from actually a lady not too far from where Andrew lives. And I dropped mine and broke the handle off it after about a year. Oh. And she said, well, now we're not going to have matching cups. I said, well, I could drop yours too.
Oh.
She wasn't happy about that. She wasn't happy that I broke mine, let alone hers.
Oh, wow. Good evening from Waveland, Iowa. Hello, hello. David from South Milwaukee. Thank for everyone checking in. Let us know where you came from.
He'll be feeling the cold today.
So Chris said, I blame President Karen for not the people. Not the people. Oh, God. I don't know. Just seems like Mexico and Canada are really allying, which is great for both of their countries, but it's just gonna suck for us. So I hope at one point in time we can kiss and make up.
Well, nothing personal, man.
Why is it when everyone says that it is totally personal, like it's just business? I didn't mean that.
I don't like my own politicians, so I'm surely not going to like yours.
Not personal, but it's better for our country. Too funny.
Hey, Jim. From very, very cold Chicago.
Yes. They say all public schools are going to be closed on Friday because it's supposed to be like below -10.
We're actually supposed to get really cold here, which is not well, it's not acceptable, but it's not really normal either.
Yeah. Crazy. Chris said Rick can drink and talk at the same time, practice his ventriloquist. Ventriloquist. I'm dyslexic.
Ventriloquist.
Act. There you go.
Yes, because you were drinking while your voice was still coming out.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, if you guys ever seen the video, I would say one semi-viral on TikTok that Steve makes fun of me all the time, you may find it. Hey, you're back, Roger.
Well, I lost my audio on my normal headset, so we're going to have to go with the computer speakers. I don't know.
Everyone from North Georgia?
Yeah, well, you're back anyway.
Jack in the shop said, Chris is so far away, it's tomorrow. No kidding, no? It's in the morning time.
It literally is, I guess.
Said, Roger, where do you winter in Mexico?
Now we're going to have a problem because I can hardly hear. What is it?
He said, where do you winter in Mexico?
It's Playa del Carmen.
Roger is part-time Mexican, for those who don't know. Chris said, Canada and Mexico are just pointing out what they are part of the real world.
See, I'm glad an Australian said that.
Yeah,
because if I had said it, then everybody would hate me.
No, there's some truth to it. That's what I'm saying. We're the whole world is saying something. Sometimes you gotta look at the common denominator, right? But unfortunately, we tend to be the common denominator right now.
Troublemakers.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get through it.
Chris said, I have a CNC controller coming from Australia. There you go.
Hey, did you hear the big industry news?
What's this big industry news?
Skylar is getting a Onefinity CNC.
Oh, yeah. I've been talking to her.
Yeah. I talked to her today because she was looking to get her V-Carve Pro set up. And she only has a Mac. So
she's not getting a Onefinity, though. She's getting a Shapeoko, I thought.
No, she said to me she's getting a Onefinity.
Okay. Because I was trying to convince her to get the Onefinity, and she was going the Shapeoko route. She had it in the shopping cart, and we're going through every option, and she was looking at.
I suspect Skylar getting any CNC would be big news. I said, I'm glad you're getting one. It'll be nice to see what a real artist can do with a CNC. I mean, I cut straight lines, right?
Yeah. What's crazy? She does that fancy router she has.
Yeah.
With the dots and all that. Like if she's making badass stuff with that, once she gets the CNC, dude, she's gonna be brutal.
Yeah.
She's gonna be brutal.
Yeah, I gotta say, I don't really understand what the heck is that thing called?
I don't know. It's super expensive too.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're gonna get that, you might as well just get a CNC. Although there are some things it can do that a CNC can't do, right? Just portability for one thing.
Right.
But that's not really my use case.
It seemed like very technical to set up. Very kind of one usage type of thing. It's not as well, versatile on the things you could do. Very specific on some things. But I think certain specific things it probably does really well.
Yeah, there's definitely use cases for it, but every time I see it, I want to play dominoes, and I don't know how to play dominoes. So
it reminds me of you see all these guys, they first come out of prison, they always have these like plaques with names on it, and they'll show you their woodworking. And you're like, oh, that's from prison woodshop, huh? That's what it reminds me of, like prison woodshop. Not that I know what that's about. I'm just saying, Chris said, Alan going for the cheaper tariff wave. LOL. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. I always say China hates us, right? But they need us because we buy their cheap crap. That's just the truth. And people say stuff from China is crap, and nothing from China comes from crap. You can order crap. And what I mean by that is that if someone is having something outsourced from China, there's different levels to everything. And sometimes who's importing it chooses a cheaper option, and then you get, a poor whatever. That doesn't mean China sucks. That means they just paid.
They're just building to some particular specification, right? That some customers asking for. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, when you look at a bamboo, which comes out of China, those things are awesome. And it's just like even a lot of the CNC stuff that comes out of China is actually pretty good. Right. So it's, it's like anywhere else. If you pay the money, you're going to get good stuff.
Exactly. Chris said, CNC 3D is based in Australia. My mechanical part for my CNC came from China and my spindle from the USA. So you have an international CNC. There you go.
So global. Masso is in Australia too. You can get a Masso controller for it.
Oh, nice. Tim says, misinformation on EV cars from China. They are better made, safer than your Hyundai EV. I owned one, half the price.
Yeah, Tim would be happy now. Last time he was here, he was mentioning buying a Chinese car. So
I would so much love to have an electric car, but I just don't. They're not at the mile range yet for me. I think at some point in time they will.
What kind of miles do you drive every day?
I want to be able to drive to Florida or something and not have to pull over every, you know what I mean? Like
every 300 miles.
Right, but I'm stuck there for how many hours, and I have to watch
20 minutes, maybe.
That's it.
So yeah, so I drove mine. I drove mine from Ottawa to the East Coast when I moved, so about 1,000 miles, and I charged it I charged it 5 times, but I really should have just charged it 4 times, and it cost me $50. Actually, it cost me less than that because they charged me $50 at Tesla Superchargers, and then they refunded me some money because they said they charged too much. But the first time I charged it, it was early in the morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I plugged it in at the charger, and there was a McDonald's there. So I thought, I got lots of time. I got time for breakfast. And I hadn't even gotten out of line yet, and the thing was at 80%. And it was like within I don't know, less than 20 minutes, I was back on the road. So it's almost inconsequential now,
I guess.
And the advantage is, like, when I'm just driving around home, I never have to stop anywhere because it's always charged when I back it out of the garage.
Yeah, that I agree. Like if I just want to and from, because at my work, I can't say where I work at, but I work for a power company, put it that way. They have huge stations like in the parking lot that you can plug in, and then
You
they
should
have
get the employee discount on electrons, right?
Yeah, you have to like pay on this prepaid card, and it's like
Yeah.
a discounted rate that you only can use for the car to charge. I don't know how it all works, but yeah, and they give you so much money to because man, I really like that new Hummer, the electric one. It just looks so bad.
You want an electric monster truck? That's
exactly. Rick, you get 3 miles to an eye.
Well, most of the like pickup trucks and that Hummer, they have range like crazy, right? Like it's like, I don't know, it's 1,000 kilometers, so what's that, about 600-700 miles?
Yeah, that Hummer looks so badass. Like, oh god. But the other thing is that like that's a dealer only service car now, right? You're not going to some mechanic shop like that, a specialty.
Well, yeah, so that's true, but I've had my car since, this is my second one. I've had this one since 2018, and just this year, about 3 months ago, I had to take it in for service, and they had to replace some 12-volt battery in it. Cost me $200. I guess it's like the battery in your in your clock, so when the power goes out, it doesn't lose time.
Oh, okay,
It's just some little backup battery that keeps all the state of everything good, and
memory. Yeah,
it keeps all the memory up, I guess. And yeah, and I wondered about it because you got a 400-volt battery pack sitting there. Why do you need a 12-volt battery?
That's crazy.
But
when you said how,
anyway, that was the one and only time out of 2 Teslas that I've had them in for service.
Yeah.
So Tony's asking, how important is a Bowden tube on a 3D printer? In other words, length, etc., will work without it. In some cases, it will. However, it will wear your extruder entrance out if you're not feeding your filament through a Bowden tube. Even though even just regular PLA will actually wear a groove in your extruder input if you don't have a Bowden tube in there.
Roger, do you want to explain what a Bowden tube is?
It's a PTFE tube that it's like a little tiny piece of hose that the filament runs through. It's it doesn't wear very well. I mean, you can eventually wear it out, but it's not as wearable per se as like the entrance to your extruder is or something like that. I'm going to go try to grab my other headset because I have CHS and can't hear stuff, so I got to try to get my other headset.
So the internal diameter is pretty critical. The length, not so much.
Yeah, that's not all that important.
So are you talking about the tube like that would go from the AMS actually physically to your 3D printer?
No, not AMS. So this is like a bed slinger type question,
okay.
Right? So in a lot of bed slingers, especially the older ones, you had an extruder and then a long tube that pushed. So there was a stepper motor up around wherever the roll of filament was, and it would feed it into this tube, this Bowden tube, and it would push it down to the extruder.
Okay.
And they wear out, so you need a new one. But if you go on Amazon, you'll find you can buy like 50 feet of this stuff for next to nothing. It's pretty cheap.
Tim said, yeah, have a good day. A lot of propaganda saying if it's not USA, it's not good. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I don't support our own country. I'm just saying that I do think China gets a bad rap of saying like China crap, right? And it's like, it's not China crap. It's someone trying to cut corners.
Well,
to make more profits.
Yeah. So to kind of amplify this, when I was a kid, everything that came from Japan was terrible. right? I mean, well, Roger would know this too, right? When you got stuff, if it was from, if it said made in Japan on it, it was like, oh, this is garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't say that anymore.
Now, if it says made in China, you're kind of looking at it, we'll see.
Yeah, we're in that crossroad now. But, if you look at some, there's make no mistake, there's still some stuff that's kind of dubious, but for the most part, their quality control has stepped up a lot. And I think it's in part because they don't know how to do support, but
yes,
it's,
they don't want
make it really good so we don't have to man a phone.
I was just laughing right now. I got a call. It said the China/North Carolina.
Make up your mind.
They're listening. Since the newer EVs all are fast now charging.
Yeah. Since really, well, even my first Tesla charged pretty quick. But the question, when I had my first one, there weren't that many around because that was 2012. And people would stop you in a parking lot and they'd ask you all the same questions. How does it drive? How long does it take to charge? And my answer to that question was, shit, I don't know. I plug it in at night and I go out in the morning and it's charged. Right. And where do you charge it is another one that's pretty common. But the answer is there are more power outlets on the planet than gas stations. So,
Yeah.
Well,
Chris said EV in Australia are only good for major cities at this stage due to distance.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Australia is like 1,000 kilometers between towns, right?
Jocelyn Jones said, I just bought a 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee a few weeks ago. I'm taking advantage of the interest write-off of American cars.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you live in the U.S., you should be buying U.S. cars, right? It makes sense.
I'm a Dodge guy. All I ever owned was Dodges, except for Cadillacs. I've owned Escalades, but everything else besides that was Dodge. And I said that to my brother-in-law, who's a Marine, because he drives a Titan. And I said, dude, how are you a Marine? Like, America. And he's a Trumpy, America. And you drive a foreign car. And he says, how do you say that when you drive a Dodge Ram that's built in Mexico? And I was like, all right, I'll let it go.
Yeah, I was going to say it's either built in Mexico or Canada.
All right, I'll let it go. It's like when you start an argument, don't have a leg to stand on. Sometimes you got to admit when, touche.
So Chris asks an interesting question here about my car. It doesn't require service, but how often does it do a weekly Microsoft software update? So the interesting thing is, software updates are generally pretty automatic, but you can, and this is a little alarming, you can't do a software update while you're driving the car, but you can reboot the car while you're driving it, which is a little, I've done it a couple of times just to say, hey, I rebooted my car while I was driving it. The real challenge is you lose the speedometer for about a minute.
Oh, man.
The rest, who cares? You lose the maps, you lose, whatever, but you lose the speedometer.
So why would you want to do that if you're just driving it's being crazy? Like you're literally like,
well, it's software, right? I mean,
right.
If you look at any of these, well, any car really now, but certainly EVs, they're just basically, iPads on wheels, right? And they're just loaded with software. So every once in a while, those things will hang, right? It's only happened to me once or twice, probably. But they said, don't worry about it. You can reboot it. It hasn't happened on this car. It's happened on my previous one. So it was back in the early days.
Still crazy, though.
But, yeah, it does do pretty frequent updates. You don't have to take them. You can just ignore them. But
Roger almost didn't buy a 3D printer because there was too many updates.
Well, and they were watching him while he was updating.
Yeah.
See, I didn't worry about the Bamboo Lab cloud thing. It's just, whatever. If you want to look in my shop overnight when the lights are out, go right ahead.
It's kind of what I thought. I really have nothing. If I was a government entity, I was printing proprietary stuff with some crazy contracts, but
I figured the illusion of privacy is really just that anyway.
Yeah.
And with the stuff I print, they probably wouldn't know what the hell it was anyways.
Yeah.
Speaking of looking at cameras, there's a lot of people, and I'm not saying this is true. I was actually going to research it later today, but supposedly that Ring has opened their camera system to allow ICE to use it. So a lot of people are going to start boycotting Ring. I don't know if there's truth to that, but you know, if it's on Facebook, it's true, right? So I don't know.
Absolutely.
So,
you know,
I got getting some researchers. I get a bunch of hate mail, but
on this
all
front,
over Facebook today.
I'm getting so annoyed with Instagram, particularly, and Facebook is getting this way too. It's the same company. I'm thinking of actually just killing my Instagram account, because when you look at anything on Instagram, any video, almost all of it is AI slop now. Even stuff that shouldn't be. It's like, you know, some person doing a chat to the camera, and the whole damn thing is AI generated. It's like, this is ridiculous.
So I'm not trying to get in trouble saying this, but to me, Instagram is like all wannabe. I'm a model, but really you're just half naked on there, and I'm paying for 1 million subscribers. Because if you
see,
look at
that's why I have an Instagram account.
See, I do not have it. I've never had an Instagram account, nor do I do TikTok.
No, yeah. TikTok is actually being shut down here.
Well, we went through that already. Matter of fact, it just came up on its anniversary because it came up as a Facebook memory, and I shared it. And I said, remember when the world shut down, when TikTok was banned for a day?
Yeah. Well, we're shutting it down permanently.
Oh, wow.
And I think it's this week or tomorrow or something. It's coming soon.
Chris said, yep, made in Japan was such a bad rep. They renamed a city USA just so it could say made in USA. That's hilarious.
This is like the 100% all beef company that makes burgers for McDonald's.
Yeah, that doesn't exist. This cattle farm that no one can name, right?
Yeah, well, there actually is a USA Japan.
That's funny. Chris said rebooting while driving signs a bit Evel Knievel.
Yeah. It's cool. You know, you're driving along, the screen goes black, and you keep driving, and then you see the little T pop up on the screen, and a minute later, you know, you get everything back. But
so do you realize how fast you're going? No, I don't. I was rebooting my car.
Yeah, sorry, officer. I wasn't paying attention because I was rebooting my car. I'm sure that would go over really well.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. Have a nice day.
Yeah. Chris said, I stopped using face ads on my phone due to not being able to filter out ads.
Yeah, Facebook's getting really bad with ads.
Yeah.
You know what I think about's funny with Facebook is now everyone's using these AI filters. And when you see a photo without the AI filter, you're like, ugh.
That's what real people look like? Gross.
Look a little rough.
Man, I was telling Roger before we got on, I've been busy this week. Since January 1st, actually, I've been kind of going crazy.
Yes.
I've been working on this video for the Anycubic Photon P1 resin printer. Nice printer, but it's just, man, it's such a slog because I don't like resin printers. Like, they produce great stuff, but they're so messy. So I've been just toiling away with that one, but I have the alien cell sitting on the floor because I don't have room on my bench for it. Then Creality sending me their filament recycler.
Nice.
And in between those, I have to do something else. There's another thing coming. I can't tell you what it is. It's a CO2 laser. Okay. But it's coming soon too.
So I had a coworker that I didn't know, I guess watches our lives, and he started talking to me randomly about resin 3D printers because we brought it up and saying how they're messy. When he brought it up, I thought it was random. Like, what? Why would you just start talking about resin printers to me? Why would you, you know? But I didn't know that he watches our live.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, since you're talking about it, why do you want a resin printer? I understand the advantage, like 1 in 10 is the same, right? So like if you're doing a lot of something, like the speed is phenomenal. 3D printers are great, but they're slow. I don't care how expensive it is.
No, well, you know, so I can probably print something faster on a resin printer than I can on a bamboo printer.
That's
In fact,
exactly my point.
I printed the same
yeah,
thing.
That's exactly my point. Yeah. That it's going to be faster, right? But I said 3D printers are great, but they're slow, right? The resin printer is fast. So I asked him, I says, a disadvantage, it's sloppy, messy, dirty, whatever. Advantage is it's fast. So why do you want it? And I guess he's like a badass airbrush artist. And he's like, so there's no advantage. Like you want it because you want like AMS and all these different colors. I want one color because I'm painting it anyways. So there's no competition when it comes to that.
That's where they kind of got their footing is in like people who play like board games, Warhammer, those kinds of things, right? Where you have these little figures and they print those. Like there's a booming business. That's what Ross Fohammer does. So like that's how he got started, right? Like because he was making Warhammer miniatures and somebody said, hey, you know, you can use a printer for this, and that's how his channel got going. I don't do that. However, one of the things I do, which I will probably use that printer for, is making fine detail chess pieces.
Nice. He likes to make.
I can't make them on a CNC, and if I print them on a filament printer, they look not good.
Yeah. He likes to make, and I started looking after he said this, but RCA bodies, these RC cars, like these gas-powered nitro cars. People like literally will buy that car. They don't care if the body's not perfect because they're literally taking it to a body shop and like fix this, paint this like it's a real car. Like, you know, so it doesn't have to be flawless. But I couldn't believe when I started Googling, I went down that rabbit hole, how much some of these cars are selling for.
Yeah, the shells. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a shell.
Yeah.
Tim said, I worked for Mickey D's for years before the Navy. You don't want to know what's in the meat or fries.
I know what's in the fries. It's potatoes. But yeah, the meat is questionable.
It's the only thing I have eaten at McDonald's in the last decade are like breakfast things, like an egg McMuffin. I figure it's a muffin and an egg. You can't really screw that up.
Yeah. So what is it? Flurry?
Furlough.
McFlurry?
Furlough.
Sorry. Says I drive a Honda Ridge, which was manufactured an hour from where I live in Alabama. Yep. So do I drive an American-made car? That was my point about the Nissan versus the Dodge when I told my brother-in-law, you know, America. So,
well, that's the thing, right? Like here we make Hondas and Toyotas. Like I think all the North American Toyotas are made here.
So I know most of our plastic, like for our bumpers, our dash, anything under our engine bay, our wheel wells, all that plastic pellets comes from Canada.
Well, you look at it, like the whole, like I said, when we were talking about this earlier, I don't think that politicians appreciate how intertwined our countries are, right? Canada, US, Mexico. Like if you look at a typical Jeep, like not a Wrangler, the next thing up with actual doors and stuff on it, the seats are made here. The drivetrain is made in the US and body parts and things are made in Mexico. And it's like, holy cow. Like you can't just say, okay, we're not going to make them there anymore because they've been doing this for the last 50 years, right? So it's bizarre. Like when they say a typical North American car crosses the borders at least 8 times, you can see it.
Yeah. And then we can't even have chips or remote starts. They literally went back to the old school. Dodge went back to the old school like keys.
Yeah, because their keyless entry stuff, the security on it was just ridiculous.
Yeah, and then look at all the pickups. You can still buy a Dodge Classic now, which is a 2003 body. Like, are you serious?
Yeah, I saw a documentary, and they were showing the security of cars, and they had some hacker standing at the side of the road with nothing but a laptop and like a Wi-Fi antenna or something, RF antenna, and a Jeep drove by and he stopped it while it was driving.
Oh man.
It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's real. So I got a question for all of you guys in the audience today. What do you drive? Meaning what make? You don't have to get the mile unless you want to share. Is it American? And if it's not American, but it's made in America, do you assume it's American, call it American, consider it American? I'm curious to know what you drive. Let us know. Let us know. Tim said the best meme I saw was that Mickey D's 11 herb spices was armpit sweat. Oh man, that's not good.
It's believable.
All right, Steve, you're up.
Tim says, so Steve, did you see that new longer e-print not only will be a UV printer, but they've integrated DTF? Yes. Now, you just a kind of a footnote on this. When you pick it up, like when you take it out of the box, if you get the dual head one, you need the dual head one to do this. You basically make a lifetime decision of whether you want 2 UV printer heads or a UV and a DTF printer head. Because once you go DTF, you can't go back, apparently.
Because you contaminate the head with different inks.
Yeah, I guess. Like, and there's just no coming back from that. I don't know. The ink is just so different.
Yeah.
But you know, again, this is the multi-tool situation, right? Like, it's probably a great UV printer, it's probably a great DTF printer, but when it tries to be both, it probably kind of half sucks at both of them.
Yeah. Jack in the shop said American assembled. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, XL Laser gets, well, good reviews. If you're talking about the reviews on YouTube, I believe they are really skewed. Look at their Kickstarter project. The last time I looked, this thing only had 300 and something supporters. So I don't know. It's probably okay, but I look at it and just kind of wonder why. Like, why did they put a Galvo on the end of a gantry? Just looks like it's overly complex. Jim says, Steve, you mentioned last week that you want to be rid of some of your lasers, looking for a fiber, not a MOPA. I don't think I have just a fiber anymore.
I would say this though to that comment. I wouldn't care if it's MOPA and you weren't going to use the features at all. Just keep in mind that if you did go on the MOPA and you're not necessarily use it to color change metal, one thing you can do though is you can go into higher frequency ranges and it can do some pretty nice clean passes.
Yeah,
that won't require you to do so much buffing or cleaning up, like if you're doing challenge coins or anything that you want a higher polish on it.
Yeah. Now, if I'm speaking for Jim, and I'll try not to, but I believe he wants it to do engraving on tumblers. So he doesn't care about color or depth.
Right, yeah.
Although maybe he doesn't, because if using a fiber on tumblers is probably not the best, because it'll actually blacken the stainless steel underneath. CO2 is the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought we had this huge debate when we had Laser Chick on. I thought CO2 won that argument when it came to...
this is the problem,
just
right?
blasting off the paint kind of deal.
Yeah, I mean, people are always saying, oh, I own this kind of laser or that kind of laser. And you say, well, you can't do what you want to do with that kind of laser. You got to buy this. And people don't, I think, understand why you need 4 different lasers.
Right. And it's not that you can't do something on a laser, or one laser is better than the other. It's just one laser may be better at doing a particular type of job better or faster, right?
Yeah.
Like, could you do that in a fiber? Yes. Could you do that in a
Well, I mean, I'm thinking of it just more from the perspective of what materials a laser can actually touch.
Yeah, I get you.
Right? Like your 100-watt MOPA is great for hacking a hole through a piece of brass, but it can't cut a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Right? Which is mind-boggling.
Rick said 2006 Buick LaCrosse. He said got the Big Daddy car to pimp my ride.
Do they still make those? I thought they stopped making LaCrosse now.
Those are it's riding in style, man. Comfort at its finest. You know, cars aren't comfortable like that anymore. Like that car rides smooth. That rides like a Cadillac, you know. Now they're like, boom.
Well, every car has to be like a sports car now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you feel every ripple in the road.
Yes. Tony said I spent 20 years at GM, and there were no all American cars. Yeah.
I mean, GM especially, they were buying a lot of parts from China and Korea, and I mean, I guess all car companies do this, right? Well, injectors, all the injection systems come from Bosch in Germany, and
yeah.
So
we're a hybrid world. We're such a hybrid world.
This is globalization, right? There's no car that's like completely made in any one place. So
So only a couple people said what kind of car they're driving. I'm really curious what everyone's driving. Let us know. We're highly opinionated on supporting our country. We're highly opinionated on a car is a pretty personal thing, right? Most people, they're pretty brand loyal. So what are you brand loyal to? 2021 RAV4 Prime. It's both battery and gas motor. These ones are made in Japan.
Andrew's got his hybrid RAV4 there.
Yeah. I drove a Ford Escape one time, and I ran out of gas as a hybrid, and I called my uncle and said, "Can you bring me some gas?" And he says, "Rick, how you run out of gas in a hybrid car?" I said, "I pushed it too far."
Yeah. I drove until it ran out. That's how you run out of gas. Yeah, I'm probably the worst demographic for car companies because I don't really have a brand.
No,
like the Teslas I had are the only American cars I've ever driven. North American.
What have you drove in the past?
Mercedes, 2 Porsches, what else? A Hyundai, 2 Hyundais actually. Lots
did you get these $100,000 Hyundais?
No,
you got a regular Hyundai.
No. So I had a Cayman S, which it was a really nice car, but it was shit. And anytime there was in this fall when it was cold, right? So I bought a Hyundai. What's their really cheap one? Elantra. I walked in and I paid for it on my credit card.
That's hilarious.
And that was my winter car. Was the Hyundai Elantra. It was a good car. It was really basic, but it's like it was certainly better than killing myself in anything that with like rear wheel drive and like performance summer radials, right? So
yeah, to me the whole thing about Hyundai is that they went from like the cheapest car you can buy to like a luxury vehicle. And even though I'm not saying they don't have some luxury vehicles, it's still kind of like, how do you buy $100,000 Hyundai, right?
You see, that's the whole it's made in China mentality, right?
Yeah, no, I'm eating my own words exactly.
Did in the US back in probably the 80s, did Hyundai have the Hyundai Pony? It was a thing that kind of a hatchback. It was their first car. They had them here, and the thing was $4,500 or something.
Yeah.
It was brutal. But man, they sold a ton of those things.
Yeah. My sister had a Hyundai Accent, and I think it was like $4,500 brand new too, right when they first came out.
Yeah. Well, that was the second generation.
Didn't have any kind of fancy anything, but it was brand new.
Yeah. So they had when they first came to North America, well, Canada anyway, they had the Hyundai Pony, which was their dirt cheap car, and a Hyundai Stellar, which was a 4-door sedan, and I had one of those, and it was about $5,000, I think. And I just got out of school, so it was like, I can drive a new car. It's got electric windows, it's got everything.
Right. There you are.
And we're in that mode again now with you guys can't do it yet, I guess, but our market's getting opened up very soon to Japanese or Chinese cars, and they make some sweet cars.
Chris said Hyundai is the only part not built and assembled in Korea is the tires.
Yeah. Which is weird because you think they would make tires. But...
Tim said, hey, TTC 1940, where are you located? Might have B4 20 watt.
Joliet, Illinois, Tim.
There you go. I got a...
And Jim, when he sells it to you, tell me what he sold it for, because I sold it to him.
Oh, shrewd businessman. He wants to.
I don't care. If he wants to mark it up, I'm okay with that. I'd like to say he got a good deal on it, because for me, it's mostly just get it out of my shop.
You want to take this one, Steve?
Tim owns a Hyundai 2022 Tucson plug-in hybrid with a 50-kilometer battery. You can do your math and figure out what that is in America land. Yep, I've seen his Tucson. It's been in my yard, in fact.
David said Toyota Century, very comfortable and reliable.
Sienna, minivan.
That's the car that's getting like 300,000 miles, right? Like the car can be rusted and falling apart and still running with no oil.
Yeah, this is the thing with EVs, right? Like there are tons of Teslas with 300,000 miles on them. And it's just like, so when I first was getting one, there were so few of them around. Tesla put me in touch with a guy who owned one, and his had 100,000 miles on it when he said, yeah, come over and take it for a drive. And it drove like a brand new car, and I just couldn't believe it. And I kept saying, you got 100,000, well, it was 125, 130,000 kilometers, so almost 100,000 miles. And I just couldn't believe it. And this is the thing with EVs. They just don't wear out.
See, the thing to me is, though, at some point in time, those batteries are going to go bad, and those batteries are really bad for the environment, though, right?
No, they recycle them. 99% recyclable.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'm believing
again. This is one of those myths put out by guys who drive big Dodge Ram pickups. And when I had my first one, I had free supercharging for life on the thing. Nice. And a guy that worked for me on my team, he drove a Dodge Charger Hemi thing, like the thing used about 8 gallons per mile, right? Yeah. And he thought, he said, oh, it's terrible. Like, this thing will take you, 2 hours to charge at a gas station. It takes me 2 minutes. I said, yeah, but I can drive to Mexico for free.
Just Alan Jones said, I bought a 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee for the comfortable ride and still has a V6 with towing. I just hit 7,000 miles. This is my second Jeep. No power, no car, baby. Yep.
See, that's what this guy said too.
Yeah. No power, no car. Chris said, did you guys
before you read that, feel free to ask laser and CNC and 3D printer questions too.
Absolutely. We go off on these tangents sometimes, but it's nice. We always say happy hump day, right? Wednesdays. Some people join because they have legitimate questions. Of course, you have questions, the live questions and answers. But this is also kind of like a group therapy session, so to speak. Sometimes we go off in these tangents and we talk about things. The camaraderie, the brotherhood's here for sure. So let us know. Chris said, did you guys get the Honda Zot? It was a cheap, fragile machine. Now look at Honda quality. Yeah,
that was something they had originally intended for like the Central American market or something.
Tim said, nope.
So back in my working days when I worked for, big conglomerate American company, in 2000, actually it was probably still 99. We were doing some work with some German car companies, and them all. And we were working with all of them. And one day they came to me. They were looking for some software analytics stuff that we had built, and I said, like, do you really need this on your typical Audi? And he said, how many lines of code do you think are in an Audi? And this, keep in mind, this is 25 years ago. I said, I don't know, 50,000. He said 4.5 million in the average.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's everything, right? The ABS brakes, the injector system, the ECU, right. All the infotainment stuff. Like, it's nuts how much code there is in a car.
Yeah. Clayton said, aloha from Hawaii, everyone. Please smash that like button. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, haven't heard from Clayton in a long time.
Yeah, good to see you, Clayton.
Welcome back, man.
Chris said, I believe it was Korean tires that did not meet Australian standards.
Yeah, well, they'd probably melt in Australia, right? They must have some special rubber in tires for Australia, because it's like 50 Celsius there in the middle of the desert.
San Jose Chris, I had to jump in here with my 2016 Jeep Wrangler, getting 16 miles to a gallon. There you go. A lot of Jeep. See, a lot of Mopar no cars here. Look, 2021 Jeep Wrangler, 2019 Hyundai Santa Fe. Hyundais are both factories in Georgia and Alabama. Yeah, so the point of this, if it's, what did somebody say it was? Assembled. American assembled. If it's an American assembled, do you consider it an American car? I think that's kind of fair.
I don't even think that matters anymore, does it?
Yeah. I think it's kind of fair to say, though.
I mean, at the end of the day, as long as people want to buy it and it employs people to put it together, hopefully it employs, more of your people than some other country. But
exactly. Chris said, one of my first cars was a Toyota Corolla. It died at 1.5 miles.
Million miles.
1 million miles. Wow. Back before it got I don't know what that is. What is this?
Civilized.
Civilized.
He's spelling it in the King's English.
Oh, okay. In 1 kilometers. There you go. 1.5 million miles. I know semis definitely. I had a 6.7 Cummins twin turbo diesel, 3,500 mega cab, and I know Cummins said every 100,000 miles they give you $3,000 to do the maintenance, because they were trying to prove that motor was a 1 million mile motor. I never made it that far. I ended up trading in and get a newer one. It was still run like a top, but that thing, you could pull a house.
Diesels in general will last forever, right?
Yeah. Clayton said the battery is not recyclable.
I would beg to argue with you a lot on this, because I happen to know a company that recycles them.
Uh-oh. I think we're starting a Google war.
Well, they also get repurposed too, right? Like Nissan kind of pioneered this, right? When they're in their electric cars, when the batteries die, they die for car use, but they still have lots of life left in them. They turn them into battery electrical storage, stationary storage. So they have batteries last a long time. They don't last for car use a long time. Well, forever at least.
I watched this guy on YouTube. He was doing repairs on those, like out of his house. Actually opening those batteries up, because they would say the dealership needs to replace, was like $8,000. And he was just testing for bad cells and just actually like replacing what needed to be replaced instead of the whole battery. That was kind of weird to see. Like, man, that thing had like 500 look like D batteries or whatever they are in it, but like,
yeah, they're actually the early days, they were the same batteries that laptops were using.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Now they use 16 450s or something, bigger batteries.
Chris said we should name this squirrel the Squirrel Channel. Squirrel. Yeah. Hot topics. It's a live question and answer. We never really know. There's no script on this live.
Chris can step up and ask a damn laser question then.
Here you go.
Just Alan Jones says, Steve, I took your advice using PETG instead of ABS, and it's been printing beautifully. Was that my advice? I mean, I I only use ABS for one very specific purpose, which is to make these little clamps for my AMS. But I print mostly, if I want something to last more than my lifetime, I'll print it in PETG. Otherwise, I'll use PLA.
Everything I print is in PETG. Everything I print. That's what we were talking to do it in comparison last week. And I think ABS has its purpose, but I think you should use ABS and ABS is needed. Just don't use it just to use it.
And that's the thing. I use it for one very specific thing in an application where it needs to take heat. And PETG is borderline. PLA is too wimpy for any kind of heat. Because at 60 Celsius, PETG starts to dissolve or melt.
And I'm pretty sure Roger said last week that the bulk of his prints is all PLA, right, Roger?
Nope. His lips are moving, but we can't hear him. You on mute, Roger?
No, it's not on mute. No audio.
No,
we can definitely see you.
One moment, please. Yeah, we're having trouble tonight.
Tim says the one EMP will take it all out. Oh,
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter what kind of car you're driving at that point.
You got to have a car with points. Get yourself an old Camaro, Mustang.
Yeah.
A Gen 1 Dodge, you're good to go.
Yeah, as long as it's pre-73, you're okay.
Yeah, points.
Before they started putting, well, computers too, right? They started in 73, they started putting computers in cars.
Bosnian Trucker said, hello from Waterloo. I was planning to buy a new CNC, did some research, and I love the alt mill 4x4 with the 2.2 kilowatt spindle. Yeah. Is alt mill a good machine? I have zero experience with CNC.
I've heard good things.
So I'm going to say this from my perspective, from not owning an alt mill, but when I was first looking to purchase or get a CNC, I was looking at the alt mill, the Onefinity, the Shapeoko, right? And then the PWN CNC. But the reason PWN CNC right out the bat early on was out was because they were not producing at that time. They were just kind of like beta testing, announcing that they were going to be producing one. Little did I know that the Onefinity would show up and like a couple weeks later, PWN CNC is like, hey, we're ready. Like, what? But anyways, the alt mill to me seemed like the best bang for the buck as far as cost. But the alt mill to me seemed like that it still was kind of glitchy. But so if you were a noob, it may be more troublesome for you to work through some of the problems. If you were an experienced CNC, those hiccups wouldn't be an issue for you at all. You'd work through them. So maybe as a noob, you'd beat your head against a wall a little more because you wouldn't have common sense knowledge to know it's this or that. And being a noob, I just was trying to avoid any problematic events. I wanted to hit the ground running as best as I could and not be something that's causing an issue for me when I'm going to be an issue for myself, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. And then in the alt mill, CNC lab is one of the few companies still doing a bit of development, like actual real work on things. Yeah. Like if you look at Onefinity, it's all components, right? Like we pick this controller and these stepper motors and all rails, whatever. In the alt mill, they're still developing software and finding ways to improve it. So that means it's going to be a little more unstable, right? But I think they've kind of settled down on that now.
Yeah, but the price was really highly competitive. I would say that. Yeah. But what you were getting was really high. And then the Shapeoko, to me, it seemed too cricket-y. To me, it was like, if you are a noob, it was the best package you could get to hit the ground with everything that it had, but it didn't seem so like robust, commercial grade. Like, I just didn't get that feel. I got the feel more like it was like more home base. You're just starting off. This is your entry level first CNC. And again, I don't have one. I've never used one, but watching my own review, watching other people's reviews and seeing what they have to offer and then kind of cross comparison, that's just the vibe that I got from that. And even from its own users. I don't know what your opinion on that, Steve.
Yeah, Shapeoko has been really quiet lately. Have you noticed that? Like they haven't really produced anything new. they don't market anywhere. Like you haven't really seen them, right?
Right. And then
I'm kind of wondering if they're getting eaten alive by, by the alt mill and the Onefinity machines.
So then the one thing I did see, I always say common denominators, whether it's an alt mill, Onefinity, Shapeoko, whatever it was. The one thing I did see commonly throughout all three was the PWN CNC, right? Spindle. And then the Masso controller, you don't need it, right? You're just spending extra money for a bells and whistle. I just wanted that bells and whistle. Like with the lasers, having these little cheap laptops. So I just like the fact that it had that. Like, you don't need it. I liked it.
Keep in mind, the one thing the Masso controller does for you is it allows you to extend it, right? Like extend your CNC. So if you want a fourth axis for a rotary, you can do that. You can put tool changers on it. Like it's pretty powerful.
Right.
Now, Onefinity out of the box, Onefinity doesn't really use, I'd say, like half of the capability of it. Like it's a pretty nice controller.
Right. So I would say that you don't absolutely have to have it, right, for just the CNC purposes alone. But if it's in the budget, man, it's a hell of a thing to add. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I would say don't blow the budget on your first CNC, because really your big achievement will be being able to cut straight lines and do some basic engraving.
And then
you're going to figure out what you want to do.
Yeah.
You're back, Roger?
Well, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
You can. You sound like a Verizon commercial, but yeah. Is that Verizon that does that? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then the PWN CNC, they are newer CNC. The one thing that I thought was an advantage of them coming out with their own CNC is, since they never had their own CNC, they're always retrofitting all their equipment with every manufacturer. And to make sure that it fit, they physically bought every single manufacturer, right? To make sure every part, component worked as it should, fit as it should. So advantage to them, and I'm sure the manufacturers may do to some extent this, but advantage to them was they've had intimate knowledge of everyone's CNC because they've taken it apart and put it together front and back a million times. So they know what works, what doesn't work, what was problematic, and they can kind of have a lessons learned from other people's heartaches. Not that they copied anyone, but they could be a lesson learned. So I thought there's something to be said about that as well. So ultimately, I wasn't disappointed in the Onefinity at all. The only thing I was disappointed is how long it took to come. But I can't say that's a Onefinity thing. I think that's a CNC thing. The PWN CNC, the fact that they are offering such fast ship times, I'm almost hesitant to even say how fast they said it, because with global changes that are happening right now in our economy, I'm not sure if they can keep that pace up. I'm not sure if anyone could. Not just saying their company as a whole. So I'm not bad mouthing alt mill. I think, like I said, if you're considering alt mill, I think for what you're getting for the amount that they're charging is phenomenal. I would just definitely, if you do decide to go down that road, is to join the Facebook groups, because you're going to get a lot of support from fellow users over any manufacturer for immediate answers. That'd be my suggestion.
Yeah. Now, the thing with alt mill and Onefinity and Shapeoko is they're all in North America, right?
Yes.
So support is not such a big issue. And I've used Onefinity support, and they respond like right away, like within minutes usually.
Yes.
Half an hour.
Yep, the same with me. Which is cool is that I almost think you start talking to someone and they start pulling your email, because I know they gotta have more than that amount of employees. The fact that I talked to the same person more than once was like, I worked in a call center before, so I thought they were like almost like pulling my email because I was the last one to talk to them. So I thought that was good, actually, because you don't have to like re-explain or go down a rabbit hole.
Well, Onefinity is not a big company from a employee perspective, right? I think they probably only have like 30 employees or so.
Yeah, that's cool though. Chris said I had to repurpose those batteries. Are called recycle for marketing reasons.
Well, I don't know. Tesla's putting them in their old batteries in their power wall things.
All the power cells.
Yeah.
Chris
Well,
said, "I'm okay."
not the residential ones. They're putting them in the ones they put out in commercial power utilities.
Okay.
The big boxes that power 20 houses for 2 days.
Right.
Those are the ones they're putting recycled batteries in. Well, reused batteries, we'll say.
Chris said, I'm okay. I'm tossing up if a 10-watt UV laser is worth the cost over a 5-watt. Time is not an issue for me.
A 10-watt. If it's a diode laser, it's worth upgrading.
I think he's talking UV. 10-watt UV.
Yeah. UV. Yes. I have right now an OmniX 12-watt and the X-Tool UV laser, F2 Ultra UV. And if somebody said you have to get rid of one of them, I would probably keep the X-Tool right now. And it's only 5-watt.
So the other day we also had
Just a
someone
usability thing.
Someone also saying that they were having issues with fractures in the UV when doing those crystals. So
yeah, that's a couple of things. It could be bad crystals. It could be getting too close to the edge of to the surface of the glass. Because that's when I saw it. I was getting very close to the glass,
right,
the surface, like the outside of the cube. And if you get within, I don't know, 5 millimeters of the outside, it's probably going to eventually crack. It creeps. It's like a windshield.
Yeah, I thought that was wild. That that's definitely something you want to look out for, because it would be so disappointing to sell that to someone, and 3 days later they come back and like, "Yo, what's up with this?"
Yeah, just make sure you leave lots of room.
Yeah. Chris said CNC brands may differ, but parts generally come out of the same factories, so features should be what you decide on you want to get.
Yep. Yeah. Well, this is the whole Bosch injector thing, right? Fuel injection. It's all Bosch. Everyone.
Yeah. I think now the big competition is Masso controller and what is it? Redline? Redline? The other one Infinity is using now?
Yeah, Redline. I think it's very similar to the Masso from a capability perspective. I forget, there was something I read on why that one was more valuable, or more useful, we'll say, not more valuable.
I asked Infinity that exact one question because I don't remember if mine was sent yet or soon to be sent, right when they advertised that. And I said, so I just bought a discontinued CNC. They said, no, we're going to offer both, but we're just more going in this direction, but we'll still offer both because some people have differences of opinion.
Yeah, I mean, they still sell the Buildbotics one, right? The original.
Yeah.
On the Onefinity. So I don't know. Tim says he's coming up this weekend to the RV show. Well, I am not going to the RV show. He's asking me what I have in my shop to get rid of. I don't know. I mean, I have things. I'm going to have things to get rid of soon because I can hardly walk around in my shop anymore.
I said, watching Rick is like watching a Japanese movie. Lips move in, then the sound comes. I apologize.
Yeah.
We're having.
He's always like that. He talks like that.
Yeah. I'm being comical. No,
his camera's fine, but this is how he talks.
Yeah, just I think we're just having some internet issues lately, but it could be because it's so freezing cold out here right now.
Cat 8 cable, man. Run real cable.
Yep.
And does your Mac have a 10 gigabit Ethernet port on it?
I don't have Ethernet ports.
Oh, put a 10 gig Ethernet. Get a 10.
Yeah, I have that adapter. Yeah,
USB
it takes 2 of the Lightning ports to make it a.
You can get it. Oh yeah, because it's 10 gig. Yeah, you can get a 5 gig and just use one.
Right, I have that.
But otherwise, you probably have 2.5 or 1. Well, you wouldn't even have 2.5. You probably have 1 gigabit.
So Clark is saying making things with his Cricut. I haven't used my Cricut here in a while. I do have one though.
Mine's sitting over there.
Tim says, "All right, Clack, what are you making?" Because I think he's just poking the beehive. I don't think he uses a Cricut. I'm just saying.
David's asking me what tool changer I use on my CNC. I have a rapid change, which is the one that Onefinity now resells.
I have one too, but I've never set it up.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest. Right now, it's sitting at the back of my CNC, but I don't use it.
I've never used mine either, ever. I never even set it up.
I like it, but the problem, I need about a 15 tool changer. That's the real problem, right? Yeah. Because the second you do a job where you need some tool bit that isn't in your tool changer, then it's a mess. It's just total pain.
Yeah, it was confusing to me, to be honest, and I was just trying to learn the basics and get going. And Steve was a bad influence on me, and I thought I needed a tool changer.
Well, no, it's useful. Like if you're doing a job that basically, you're cutting something out or doing a roughing pass and then a finish pass, perfect for that.
Yeah.
But if the bigger problem is when you want to use a tool that isn't in your tool changer, because you configure all the tools in your tool changer, right? And that's not a non-trivial job. So if you're using some specialty bit, it's a nightmare.
Yeah. Clack said, been doing some 3D carving for charity auctions. My CNC was delivered in 4 weeks. Wow.
Yeah, that's the Shapeoko. Yeah, Clack's been doing some cool
I haven't, I've been so
the
busy.
Alligator in the top of the table. That's kind of a cool feature. I've seen lots of people do these kinds of things, and they look pretty neat. My first thought is it looks spectacular, but then I go, how much wood did you waste to get that thing to come out of the table?
Normally every Sunday I watch Clack's live, and it's right about dinner time. My wife's like, "Why do you have your phone at the dinner table?" And I'm like, I just got the volume on low and I'm still listening. But I've been so busy late and I haven't had a chance to catch you live. Sorry, Clack. Wade McCackey said, I have an older, I don't know, what is this? How do you say that?
CNC machine. That's like an alt mill.
Okay. Service was great.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard lots of people say their service is good.
Beam Me Up Laser Engraving said, technology is advancing so quickly. The only problem with advancing technology is learning to fix it without the middleman. Simple text, get the job done way easier. Agreed.
Yeah. Don't overbuy on the tech side. I mean, and I say this from firsthand experience because I do it all the time. And then you go, well, I didn't really need that.
Clack says, my Cricut is easy to make bit changes, runs 5 or 6 bits, is a breeze, and it's a bit setter. I have a 57-inch Roland. Man, it's just, I honestly wanted the Roland BNC, the little guy. Because that big monster is cool, but it's just a big monster, man. I have to have it in the whole room. Like, it has its own room.
You're going to buy a 3018?
No, I'm talking about the...
Your DTF?
No,
die cutter.
Plotter printer.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, die cutter. Bosnia Trucker said, so is Shapeoko 5.0 a better choice for me? I think Shapeoko is going to be the Cricut version. And what I mean by the Cricut version, and don't take that any way disrespectful, is they give you everything in the box. A good software package, a good community group. Like it's
a full solution, right? It's an end-to-end thing.
And that's what you're paying for.
Yeah. Now, the downside is you don't get the best of anything particular. You get one good solution. And as our friend Andy Bird would say, all roads eventually lead to VCarve.
Yep. Clack said, if you have access to rough cut 2-inch slabs, it isn't expensive.
Yeah, I just wondered how much sawdust you made by the time that was done.
Clark said he still hasn't caught on that he called my CNC a cricket.
Ah, okay.
I thought we were talking crickets on the yeah. Exactly. Tim says he's messing with you guys. Yes. I know it's not made by Cricut. I was calling it Cricket because it's like, you know.
Well, I didn't think he was talking about the Cricut vinyl cutter because he didn't spell it that way, and he spelled it that way. He spelled Cricut properly 3 times.
Yeah.
So,
Chris, yep, I look at the technical reviews before I buy to see how much maintenance I can do myself.
yeah, it's just something you have to do, right? You got to be able to do your own fixing.
So I'm printing a Minecraft TNT piggy bank for my son's birthday as favors for his friend's birthday party, not the family birthday party. So
I saw you printed some other box. What was on it? It was the TNT box.
yeah, that's it. Just I didn't
was that-
glue the white around the edges yet.
Oh, see, I'm not up on the Minecraft lingo.
Yeah. Ricky is obsessed with Minecraft. So I've been seeing a decent amount of people sharing on the Facebook group. Thank you for sharing your upcoming projects you're making.
I did.
If you're not already,
I did have to chuckle at Santa's glass there today with the hole through the side of it. It wasn't shattered; it just had a hole in it. They pointed out that, you know, on the positive side, thinking positively, that you can still have that glass half full.
There you go. Bosnian Trucker said, help me out. If you would buy, which one would you choose? Alt Mill, Shapeoko, or Onefinity? I need an answer from all 3 of you. Sorry, I'm getting annoying.
Yeah, you're not getting annoying. Well, I'm jaded. I like the Onefinity.
Yep.
I mean, I'm on my second one now.
So
And since I don't have any of those brands, I'm not qualified to answer.
I would say if I had a choice from all 3 and it wasn't an issue of money, it was just which one I'd like, I'd go the Onefinity. But if it was an issue of money, I'd go Alt Mill because I think you'd get a better deal as far as price.
Like this depends what you want to do with it too, right? This would be the same answer I'd give for somebody saying, hey, what laser should I buy? Right? What is it you want to do? If you want to do big projects, then you're looking at like the full size Shapeoko or a Onefinity. I don't know if Alt Mill makes a 4x4 or bigger.
I thought they did.
They might.
Thought they did.
Yeah, I haven't kept up with them. Once Andy told me they didn't have good stepper motors, I just said, no, okay, I'm not going to look at them anymore.
Yeah, but you can't go wrong. So Alt Mill, like I said, is the guinea pig, and I kind of said that early on. I don't think you could go wrong with Shapeoko or Onefinity at all.
I don't think
I have a bias.
Even the Alt Mill, I think no. You know, like I said, I think they're pretty stable now.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think that you have to be aware of that and know that going into it, though, purchasing one of those, you know, and the not the downside, but the benefit of that is if they're still developing, you're gonna have new bells and whistles coming out. They're still being creative and new solutions versus someone like Shapeoko who produce something and don't come out with anything for 10 years, something like that. And I'm just making things up, but I'm just giving an example.
Yeah, well, and like Onefinity, I mean, they don't write any of their own software, right? So
yeah, they're buying. It's like buying a kit car, right?
Yeah, it's just
you order an Ellis transmission from here and a crate motor from here, and you order.
Yeah. I mean, in theory, they build it from the best parts available, but
yes,
whether that's true or not, I don't know. But Alt Mill, they build their stuff like software and hardware. I mean, they're not building stepper motors and things, but But they're actually working on their own software.
So I don't know if we answered your question, but just buy Woodfinity. If it's between those three.
So Beam Me Up says, have you guys seen those stepper motors that aren't belt driven? The electromagnetic ones. These are like, this is more technology from the industrial world that's sneaking down into the world of mere mortals. It was inevitable this stuff was going to happen. I think they're probably twice the cost of a regular stepper motor. So if you got budget, I'd say get them, because they probably will last a whole lot longer. And they certainly won't get as hot as a regular stepper motor. Yeah.
You want to take it, Steve?
Yeah, Chris makes a good observation. It doesn't matter what size of CNC you have, 90% of your jobs are done in the front half of the machine. I'd say the front left half of the machine.
So it's funny because I remember early on when I was picking everyone's brain on what CNC to get, and I kept saying I wanted the big guy. And Clack, of all people, is the one who kept saying, like, you're gonna use a foot.
Yeah.
You're gonna use a foot.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I've used the full table on my CNC once.
I've never used a full table so far at all.
And it was a big job. It paid well, but it was a one-time deal, right? Most of the time it's little stuff, right? If
So
it's bigger than
Go ahead.
30 inches, that's huge.
My whole idea, to be honest, nothing to do with woodworking at all. What I do is my side hustle, but the real reason I was thinking I wanted the full size is because back in the day I was really big in car clubs, and I still know a lot of people in the car scene. I thought I'd make speaker boxes, and these things are huge, right? And I could make some really cool custom stuff, and it'd be really easy to make a ton of money. And that was the only reason I thought I needed big. To be honest, because a sign you hang on your wall is not going to be 4x4, right?
Yeah.
Class, I still like the 4x4 size for flattening slabs.
That's a pretty specific use case. You could do that 1,000 times faster if you have a big planer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the real problem, right? And I mean, you can do it, and if it's the only tool you have to do something that big, it's the perfect solution. But that is not a good use case for even a 4x4, just because it takes a long time to flatten things with a CNC.
Yeah, and those bits, man. I remember when I first got that big giant flattening bit, I almost fell on the floor, and I saw how expensive they were.
Yeah, they're expensive.
And then I remember when I posted on a Facebook group, you were like, "You bought that?" Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I have an Amana flattening bit. It's only an inch and a half, I think, or 2 inch, 1/2-inch shaft, so I can really plow along. But it's not cheap. It wasn't as expensive as the one you got, but it still prompted me to buy a diamond file and sharpen it myself, because you don't want to throw those things away.
So if I heard you right, you got a 2.5-inch that's with a 1/2-inch shaft.
2 inch. 2 inch with a 1/2-inch shaft.
We're gonna make a meme out of that.
And I stand by it.
He says it does the job. Clack, I have no room or budget for a 36-inch planer.
Yeah. Well, Clack can do I do this once in a while with my wife. Is I can't do that. I'm retired now. I'm a pensioner.
Yeah. Bosnian Trucker said, "Thank you. I will go with the alt mill 4x4. Let us know how it goes, man. And if you have any questions, obviously, reach out."
Yeah.
Get the wall mount, vertical wall mount, and you can put it in the back of your truck.
I'm printing these for Ricky's birthday party. It's there's a lid that's going to go on it, and it says TNT on the sides. and it looks like dynamite, and it's a piggy bank for Minecraft. Favors for Ricky's birthday party this Sunday. That's what I'm printing. To print 15 of them. So I'm printing 4 at a time.
15. That's like 300 hours of printing.
Yeah. No, not 300 hours, but it's a lot.
My printers are taking a vacation. They're going to get 14 days off.
Nice. I would have thought you started something, so at least every printer had something done when you came back.
Well, I don't want to leave them alone that far. I may come back to one of them having a big pile of spaghetti in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, you know what? I've been printing. What was it? I didn't even know how to do it. Steve, you're the one actually told me how to do it. How to look up the hours. It was like 681 hours last week.
Yeah.
I've been printing 681 hours. Like, this thing has been out of the box and running. Like, running.
Well, I bought mine at the beginning of October. Well, I turned it on at the beginning of October. And I haven't used, this is the first week I haven't used it for anything because I've been too busy doing other things, but it's got 1,100 hours on it now.
Nice.
So October, November, December, really, it had 1,000 hours, 300 hours a month.
What I like about it is that when I get busy doing stuff, I don't need to babysit it. And I think that sometimes it's like, because of stupid AI features, like will come up and you're like, dude, just go. But at the same token, like it stops, you know. I did adjust the settings a little to make that not so.
Yeah, I did have mine. I was printing something, and it was like a very sharp thing on a 45-degree angle on the bed. So there's like literally one layer is touching the bed, right? And I was printing about 4 of them at a time or something, and one of them fell off. And instantly it said, "Oh, you know, you've lost, like it's been dislodged." Right. So it actually worked because that probably saved me a big mess to clean up.
Yeah. So it's cool, and but I lowered my settings to the lowest setting, and it's been pretty great.
Yeah, just don't turn them off completely.
No, I didn't turn them off, but I have replaced the heads. I started noting some like, okay, I know I could have took a wire wheel and clean it. I know I could have, but dude, they're $20. I ain't got the time. Time is money. This thing's slow as it is. Pull it out. Maybe someday later, I'll get to that. But for $20, I'm just gonna throw a new one in and roll.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You're talking about the hot ends, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't have had any issues with your hot end yet.
What 681 hours it started acting. I started noticing imperfections and it was acting a little up.
Well, your hot end was stuck here. Did you do like what I said to heat it up, get it out?
Yes. Oh. I took a pair of pliers and instead of pulling it this way, I pulled it this way and it came right out.
Yeah, you have a blob behind it?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're talking cold pull?
See it?
Yeah.
See that? At the top?
Yeah.
And then you can see like the bottoms where, like I said, I know I could take a wire brush and kind of clean those up and whatever, but I had a big job and I needed to.
I wouldn't worry about that. That's not going to affect anything. Nozzles get dirty. That's just a fact of life.
What I do a lot of times anymore when I get clogs in this style hot end, I'll take the hot end off and I've got a little like alcohol Bunsen burner, I guess you call it. And I'll hold it with a pair of pliers and heat it up and then run a needle back and forth through the nozzle and clean all the goop out of it. Okay. Then I'll stick a piece of filament in there, let it cool till it's almost cool. Then I'll do what they call a cold pull. I'll yank it out, and if there's any gunk in there, it'll come right out with it.
Yeah. So the 0.4s, the regulars, the WCs, and not the high flows, they're $20.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? $20? I ain't got time. I just throw a new one in there. Maybe I can put these on a slow day. I got nothing to do on board. I can clean these up, get them going, but I need to get going. Thing needs to get printing. So to me, it wasn't I considered a consumable part.
Well, I'm kind of the same way. I've got a little dish on my desk down there that's got clogged hot ends and fouled hot ends in it that I'll clean someday.
Yeah.
Yeah, someday.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me ask you, Roger, do you throw away your poop?
It all goes into a big box, and I do separate my PLA from the PET G. Now, if it's ASA, I don't save it.
So what do you do with it?
It's just like in a big box. So someday I'm looking to see if there's going to be some kind of recycling thing. I need to see how Steve's thing works out from Creality. I'm obviously not a Creality fan, but see how it works out.
You do what you have to do, man.
Yeah.
So Steve, we're all gonna mail you our poop.
Yeah, you won't get it back. But
You can experiment with all our poop.
I would rather you didn't, but
I got my little box over here.
yeah, I have my own box of rejects and things. That's not that much, actually.
Yeah, you got a little box compared to what I got.
The H2C doesn't create a whole lot, though.
Yeah, it was funny you say that because when I made the poop catcher in the back and I posted on the Bamboo Labs Facebook group, like they historically laughed at me. Like it was like I was clowned, like 200 comments, like you're an idiot. That's gonna fill up in 30 minutes. Like, why would you make it so small? And they're posting these ones like it comes around the whole side and all this and that. And I'm like,
yeah, it empties right into the back of your truck. Yeah, I mean, you don't really need those.
No, I mean, I think maybe with the single head and you're doing all these different colors, it's pooping a lot. But with the dual head,
the H2S is probably much worse than certainly the H2D is not too bad. Right. But the H2C, it does one purge on every job, right? So
yeah, my H2C makes very, very little poop.
Yeah.
But even on my H2D, I just have a little box hanging off the back of the chute. Like I don't have the big pipe running down into a 50-gallon pail or anything.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, everyone was like, man, they attacked me on that one.
Yeah, it's one of those urban legends. It's not that bad anymore.
Yeah. But again, I think that was the difference in people having a single nozzle Bamboo Lab 3D printer and using a ton of different colors. And it has to.
Yeah.
Chris said, Dave, plan ahead for a new shack version 2.0 for your 36-inch planer. All right, Steve.
So isn't Clack talking about building a new shack?
That's what I thought.
Just build it extra big, and then you can park your truck and put a 36-inch planer in there.
There you go.
Yeah, you make it big enough, you get the sawmill at one end and the planer right after it.
So Clack, if you get so my not my planer, my drum sander, I can put things in and do 18 inches wide and then turn it around and do 18 in the other direction. So, I mean, as long as you're not trying to sand off like 3 inches of wood, it's okay. But it works really well if you want to do something big, because then I can do 36 inches, actually 39 inches, 38 inches, something like that.
Let me ask you a question. Why is there such a big difference in the way that the hot ends look on an H2D and H2C? What is that?
Because the H2C, the left nozzle is the same as an H2D. Okay. The right nozzles are all induction. So I believe the neck of the thing is tungsten or something. And I kind of wish they had done the left nozzle that way too, because the thing heats up and like it goes from room temperature to 250 Celsius in about 3 seconds.
Yeah, it's just amazing to watch that. The only thing is with the induction nozzles is they're a little more pricey than the conventional ones.
Yeah, not quite twice the price. I think they're what, like $35 or something.
Yeah. So a standard one's $17.84, and then the other one is $35.99. So close.
Pretty close to double. Yeah.
But on the induction ones, there's actually a chip on the top of it so that unit can read which one it is, and it remembers what color you had in it and where it belongs, and it's really just, it's a fascinating system.
So yeah, like if you're printing multiple colors and when it changes nozzles, like if you go from red to blue, it will always use the same nozzle in that job for that blue color when it switches. So it doesn't have to purge, it doesn't do anything. Once it just switches and goes.
So have you used a 0.4 a standard versus a 0.4 high flow? And if you notice a difference? I
haven't.
I haven't noticed any difference either.
There's a big difference in price. Again, it's like the, you know, what, 1785 versus like 50 something. Yeah, so it's a big difference in price. Mine came with two extra high.
I assume it can print faster. You have high flow nozzles, right?
Yes.
In your hot ends. I assume you can print faster. Does Bamboo Studio detect that hot end as something different?
Automatically because the
barcode
scanner.
So it should, so it should automatically adjust the speed for that nozzle.
Yeah, but they're still both 0.4. But there is, I was Googling it, there is some differences, but I was just wondering if there was a noticeable difference, a real noticeable difference you're using, because the price is double. Just
I've run both, and I've not really seen all that much of a time saving with the high flow.
Yeah, it's 3D printing is just a slow job. It just takes a while. You drink a lot of coffee when you're 3D printing.
Or beer.
Oh, well, sure.
Stevie,
I start work at 5 o'clock in the morning, so not a lot of beer flowing. Santa says, Steve, I was talking. It says I was talking about the wine glass that broke on him. It had engraved the words and got the wine bottle that was an engraving, not line work. Oh, so it concentrated too much heat. Pop. Yeah, it's a sad sound when it breaks. But I thought it was kind of cool that you punched like a pretty nice little hole in the side without actually breaking the rest of the glass.
What's really bad is when you're laser engraving tempered glass and you get too much heat in one place. When it goes pop, you've got a whole laser full of redneck diamonds.
Yeah, little cubes.
Redneck diamonds. Try selling them, see what happens. Chris said the price of the new hot end makes it hard to justify time cleaning. Yeah, that's why I said $20. Like,
well, it's two things, right? It's the cost of the nozzle, and it takes of the hot end, and it takes about a second to change the thing.
Right.
It's really quick.
Yes. I was almost thinking I'd save them enough. I'll put it on Facebook and say, "You want to buy these?
You clean them.
If you got time to clean them. You can help. $20 for the box. Get me 2 new ones, and I'll sell all these used ones. There you go." Santa's Laser Engraving said, "Beat me up, Laser Engraving." Said Santa just wasn't lucky. I wasn't a John Walker Blue Labels bottle.
Yeah. So he didn't break Johnny Walker.
Empire Laser Engraving said, "Finally made it. Higher one. Better late than never. Better late than never."
Hello.
We were just going down the rabbit hole of the hot ends, and is it worth cleaning? Versus, I know you do a lot of 3D printing as well, or just swapping them out. I think that's going to be a common theme people are doing.
Yeah, because 3D printers don't waste enough.
Right.
Right,
exactly.
So you're gonna have your big box of filament poop and your big box of nozzles, hot ends.
Every person that I've talked to, that I say, when they say they have a 3D printer, I ask them, "Do you save your poop?" They say, "Yeah." And I said, "What do you do with it?" They're like, "I don't know. I'm just saving." And they said, "What do you do with that?" I don't know. I'm just saving.
So in anticipation of doing this filament recycler, I have this box. It's all PLA, but it's all random colors, and it's going to be some heinous color of filament that I'm going to use for prototyping things, I guess.
There you go.
But I mean, for that kind of stuff, I don't care. Like what I usually do is if I'm designing something, I'll usually print a white one first because it's, white tends to be lots of it in my shop and it tends to be pretty cheap. So I'll print a white one. This way I'll print some weird greenish, brownish, blackish, reddish color.
I use, when I'm prototyping, I use Sunlose recycled filament, which is black.
Yeah.
And of course, that's one of the things in my poop box is, prototypes that just weren't quite the way I want them to be, and they get thrown in the poop box too.
Yeah, well, that's what I have, a big box of those. The challenge is I got to figure out how to shred them into little crumbs without Creality shredder.
I'm sure you can find something cheap on Alibaba to do that.
A blender.
Yeah, grab the wife's blender.
No, that would get me killed.
Yeah.
I'll go to the rehab store and just get a $10 blender.
Empire Laser Grade said definitely swapping easier and cheap enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the H2C, that's the one with the 5 different or whatever, 6 different.
Yep, 6 different heads.
Yeah.
Nozzle you can swap out.
You got a left nozzle and then a right nozzle with six changeable hot ends.
The way I've got mine set up right now is the left nozzle is for support filament, and the right nozzle is different colors.
Yeah, my left nozzle is usually black or white, and the right nozzle has 6 colors. But one of my nozzles is a 0.2 because every once in a while I'll print something small.
I thought for some reason I was just kind of browsing their website that I had saw on a 3D printer there was an option to add that. But no matter what selection
you can, yeah. So there is the H2C upgrade for an H2D, but it's really expensive. Like you're better to buy a second printer.
Right. Yeah. I'd be compared so to put them head to head.
Yeah, by all accounts, the print quality on the H2D is better. Not like night and day better, but noticeably better if you squint at it. But definitely the speed and the amount of poop that the thing produces at the H2C is better.
Yeah.
Now, the one place where the H2C has a blind spot is flexible filament. It doesn't do that very well because you can't print it from the left nozzle, but you can't really print it from the right nozzle there because it's got six hot ends to choose from. So it's a bit of a problem. I don't know if you print TPU or flexible filaments.
Well, I haven't tried it on the H2C. I've done it on my X1s. Of course, you got to do it with an external holder and pretty much direct feed it. And anybody that's watching or listening, don't ever try to put CPU into an AMS. That is not a good thing. You will be a long time cleaning that out.
Yeah. The first thing you have to understand is how to take the AMS apart because that's probably what you're going to have to do.
Yeah. So has anyone used a Snapmaker multicolored? I have not.
I haven't, but I do know that that as far as filament changes go, it's the fastest out there.
Yeah.
But you're changing the whole hot end. So actually, you're changing the whole extruder and hot end. So it's less than perfect in different ways.
But I would say also that's a maintenance cost nightmare, right? That's got to be expensive to maintenance.
There's a lot of complexity there, but the reality is you can only print 6 colors, right? Only. Whereas on a H2C you can print like 48 colors. Basically, however much money you have to buy AMSs, you can put I don't know 5 or 6 AMSs on it.
I've seen these Frankenstein projects of like a bunch of these all in the back, like dude, that is a little ridiculous, man. Like, come on.
Well, it works. And then you can also put the HT like single spool on each of the hot ends as well, even the right hand side. So you can, that's the one thing you can print. If you want to print some massive colored thing, you can do that. Speaking of color 3D, I ran into this QCV2 printer. It's a fully 3D printer with full color. So like 200,000 colors, right? It's, I don't know how they do it. I think they print white and mix ink into it as they're printing it.
Is it huge and
that
blue
thing's
and white?
going into Kickstarter soon, and it looks kind of cool.
Is it really big and blue and white?
Yeah, well, it's really big.
Yeah, I think I saw it advertised on Facebook.
Yeah, it's going into Kickstarter like any minute now. Basically, it's not cheap. Like, you got to be business dude to have one of those, because I think even the Kickstarter price is going to be like $4,000. But it's just interesting to see where the industry is going, because this is like, you can do shades of like gradients with this thing.
Center's Laven Graydon says Clack only has orange poop.
Well, he's the reason there's always a shortage of orange filament.
Does Clack have a 3D printer?
Yeah, he's got a bamboo, an A1, I think he said.
Oh, okay.
The one thing, so while I was looking at filament for this this filament recycler, I found a place that'll sell PLA pellets and coloring for them. So my first thought was I could make Clack orange. But yeah, you can. It's actually, you can do it for probably about 80% the cost of a roll of filament to buy.
To make it yourself?
Yeah. Like, I mean, if you want some custom color, sure, right? You don't have to make a kilogram. But whether you do that all the time, I don't know. But if you're desperate for a color, then sure, you could just whip it up.
I guess if you wanted to factory match a logo, trademark, unique job where it has to be that color,
yeah,
100% get that.
Yeah, if I want to print some wings for the for my tractor and I need Kubota orange, I can make it.
Yeah. Well, it's a company. They want you to make something. They don't want bluish. They want the blue they're using, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess if you wanted to do something specific like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought that was kind of cool. They sell, so this company I was looking at, you can buy like it's like 100 kilogram bale of PLA pellets or PETG pellets, and it comes on a pallet. I mean, this is like filament manufacturing farm type stuff, but you can buy it, and it's like, I don't know, here it's like $700 for this, like 50 or I think it's 100 or 150 kilograms. It's just crazy how big it is. It comes in this bag, like it's like a big cube. It's actually a cloth bag.
That's cool.
Well,
yeah, I'm not
Chris is asking, is support a good use for the mixed color recycled filament? I'll tell you what I do with support. If I'm printing PLA, I'll use PETG for support. If I'm printing PETG, I'll use PLA for support, because they support well, but they don't stick.
Yeah.
Roger, you've been telling me that, and I haven't done it yet, but knock on wood, I haven't had a issue with it ever sticking.
Yeah, print TPU.
Yeah.
Because with anytime I print TPU, I use PLAs for supports. But yes, this would be a good place for that recycled filament.
Yeah, everything so far I've used is PETG. I do have PLA, but I haven't really used it. So I've had good luck so far.
Yeah, I mean, it prints well, but PLA prints just a bit better. I find, corners are a little sharper with PLA, but I print PETG when I need to.
Beam Me Up Laser Engraving said it's all filament from recycled plastic anyways. It's cost effective and better for the environment. than buying tons of plastic waste worldwide and recycle it.
Well, see, this is what I was thinking too. When I was talking to Creality about this, I said, yeah, I'd be interested in this for no other reason than I don't put stuff in landfill. Because here, like so our waste disposal guys have this application you can put on your phone, and you can literally type anything into it and it'll tell you where to put it. Like, is it recycling for paper or cardboard or whatever? And I typed PLA plastic, and the result was PLA plastic from 3D printers, and you throw it in the garbage.
And it's
so I thought, well, maybe it's because it's PLA. So I typed ABS, and they have like 5 million pieces of ABS, which are all go into plastic recycling. But then it has a specific line item that says ABS from 3D printers, garbage.
Huh?
Like, why? All I can think of is it doesn't have the little symbol on it to say what recycling it is. I can print that if they want it.
Print out a seal on the box. There you go. It's like the old
Recycle 6. Right?
Said 100% Steve. Leave it to a Canadian to be more environmentally friendly.
Hey, we got a lot of trees to hug here, man.
I know, man. I know. It's not a bad thing. I'm just busting chops. That's all.
Lots of fresh water too. We got nothing to do with it. It's just we just dump it in the ocean because there's too much of it.
So I mentioned earlier in the live that everyone I talk to that says they have a 3D printer, they all say they saved their poop. And every person asks what they're doing with their poop, they say they're just saving the poop. So if anyone here on the live, if you're doing anything creative with your poop or your 3D printer. Oh,
and by the way, we're talking about 3D printer poop, not the literal.
Specifically plastic, yes.
If it's the other kind,
interesting with the other kind, I want to know nothing about it.
No, that would be TMI right there.
Yeah. Let us know what you're doing. I'm really curious. And I know you can make molds, and I hear all these things, but I don't actually see anyone doing it.
Yeah.
I just see everyone selling the molds for them, but I don't actually see anyone.
Yeah, anyone I know makes molds out of them. Out of like recycled stuff.
Yeah, so maybe if you're a member of our Facebook group and you are making some cool molds or doing something, share that on our Facebook group. Let us see what you're doing with it.
The reason it's popular for molds is because you don't need any fancy injection or accuracy. You just throw it in a pot and melt it, right? And then you pour it into a mold. But I prefer to actually reuse it again. So I don't make that many molds.
Chris said, I say poop only to reduce trips to the bin.
Yeah. Laziness. Yeah. That's a valid excuse too.
Yeah.
It's one of my mantras.
There you go.
It's the least I have to do to get something done or make it look like it's done.
We'll see. Maybe I was thinking that if I got big enough, I did have anything to do with that, just put it on Facebook and see if somebody wanted the poop. I actually saw people selling it, and it was selling. So I almost wanted to message them and be like, what the heck are people doing with it? But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll recycle mine. If somebody says, hey, I got a whole bunch of it I can give you. Yeah, okay, I'll take it. As long as it's not as long as it's sorted, right? You don't want a big hunk of ABS in the middle of a PLA thing. That'll just mess everything up.
Yeah. Empire Ladies Engraving said, I make skulls from molds. It's a big seller for us, and it costs nothing, just time. Let's see some of these molds. I know you're a member of our Facebook group. Let's see some of these skulls you're making. Curious to see.
Yeah, put them up on our Facebook group.
Chris says laziness takes skill to do it properly.
Yeah, it takes a lot of practice too.
Yeah.
Tim says, Steve, is this the one you mentioned, the GDQ2? No. That's a 3D printer.
Yeah.
But that's not that's not like what I'm talking about is a thing that prints color like an inkjet printer, but it's actually printing 3D prints.
Yeah.
So it's like continuous color.
I think it's like 4x2 or something. It's like a rectangle.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Right? Yeah.
Of course, all the examples they show are basically little figurines and things. So, you know, I'm not sure where the market is for it, but it looks cool. It definitely has some interesting value, I think.
Empire Laser Engraving said she will definitely post some later when she gets home. Check out the TikTok too, man. She posts a lot of cool stuff. I love seeing people's ideas, creative. That's all. That's I think it's nuts about 3D printing and about CNCs and lasers and just all this stuff. Like literally, you can just think of anything, but like, oh, I can make that. You know, like,
yeah,
I can do that. And there's
creativity overload.
More than one way to skin a cat. Yeah, like more than one way to skin a cat. Like you could do it more than one way. But the point is that honestly, now, like what's in my basement, I don't think there's not much I couldn't make if I wanted to. It's pretty cool.
Yep. I broke my shovel handle and printed a new handle for my snow shovel. Right. I could have easily thrown the shovel away and went and got a new one, but
yeah.
It's like, no, I can.
And Steve, why'd you do that? Just because I can.
Yeah, I say that a lot too. Why did you spend all the time doing that? I said, because I can.
Yeah, but it's not like I had to watch it. I just pushed the go button and I came back in an hour and I had a handle, and I screwed it onto the end of the shaft or the handle of my shovel.
There you go.
And I figure, I saved some portion of space in a landfill. So,
yeah. Beam Up Laser Engraving says scale it down to a smaller size and have a mini plastic recycle plant.
Yeah. Plasma burner. That's what we all need in our house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. 4 minutes left in the live. Let us know if you have any questions. If you made it this far in the live, you're not already a member of our Facebook group, I would highly suggest that you join it.
Hey, we never.
What's that?
Go ahead. No, finish this.
Go to shoptalklive.club. It's not a website. It's just an auto forward to our Facebook page, so you don't have this long URL. Check it out.
I was going to say we didn't commemorate the fact that this is our 100th episode.
Yes, this is our 100th episode.
100.
And we will be giving away a laser here in the next few weeks because of the events I had in my life. I wasn't able to get it arranged for this episode, but we'll be giving away a MechPow diode laser somehow here in the next few weeks. Be more details on it once I get back in the USA.
So pray for everyone as Roger's on his way back. He's looking more Mexican the longer he stays. We don't want ICE to question him.
Yeah. I'm going to have to watch that when I get back. I got pretty dark pants.
I saw him without a shirt off today, and I said, hey, I don't know. He's kind of looking darker than me. Let's see here. Chris said, Ulrich, we have a new team entering our competition next year, Bear Panthers, so you have another chance for Bears to win each week. Laugh out loud. Yeah, you know what? We already won because we beat the Packers. That's all that matters to us.
Yeah.
As long as we beat the Packers, we're good. We call that a win. What does it say?
It says, oh, yeah, we are all now centurions.
What's that mean?
Centenarians, I think, is the right term. Centurions are aliens of some sort.
Well, if I forget her name, she's like a world-renowned psychic. She's blind. I don't know. 2026, one of her.
This one from Bulgaria. She died. That one.
Yeah. So in 2026, one of her major predictions was that for the first time we would meet aliens. So we'll see what happens.
I've been suspicious that I've been meeting aliens for years. There's just some weird people around.
Empire Liz Griffin said, congratulations, guys, on the live show. 100 is insane. I went by quick, man, and I appreciate you guys, and I've had a good time doing this.
Even though you make it a challenge to post links so people can join.
So I promise you today after today's live, I will post. I'll give you guys a link for the next 2 months.
The rest of the year.
I don't know about the rest of the year. Not tonight, at least. It's a pain in the ass, but I'll get it done. Yeah. The Bears.
For the peeps, man.
I get it. You know, if you give me permission, when I create it, it can automatically, it's a selectable option now to just post it on your Facebook, YouTube, but I've never done it because I didn't want to do that without asking you.
Here, I'll show one project I've been working on. This is a retro computer. This is technology that's about 50 years old. I made the keys.
Nice.
3D printed with UV printing characters.
Nice.
Now, when you first pulled that up on the show, I thought you had an old Timex Sinclair there.
No, this is even older than that.
Yeah.
This is actually a replica of my very first computer from 1976.
3 years before I was born.
Yeah. Well, you know, computers existed before you were born. And it goes in this very fancy case that was also 3D printed. Oh, let's hold it upside right.
Nice.
Little laser engraving up on the top here, and some multicolor badge.
Nice.
So yeah, that's kind of what I do. I mean, retro computers are kind of a thing with me. So, so that's what I did this week. Was I rebuilt this is a brand new board. So I created the board. I have an original sitting in my closet over here.
Nice.
But, I'm waiting for some parts. The problem is a lot of the parts are now discontinued, right? Electronic parts. So it's very hard to manufacture some of these things now.
Sanders Lave Engraving said, people in this group are so versatile in so many ways. Things, lasers, printers, constructions, electrical, etc. So we always think, can I fix or do that? Absolutely.
Yeah. And Santa's probably at the point now where, and I know we're over time, he's probably at the point now where he's past I have a 3D printer. What the hell am I going to do with it? To, oh, I know what I can use my 3D printer for. I can make this part, right? When you start making clips for your kitchen to seal bags, then you know you've made it.
So Steve, real quick before you leave, you mentioned your handle. You mentioned your handle on the snow shovel. Guess what I'm missing on almost every every remote in my house, thanks to Ricky? The back of the remote.
The battery
Here I
cover.
am looking like, I know it's Samsung. They gotta have it, and I've been looking for it. And I said, and I can't be the only one whose kids do this, you know.
So I have to answer this question before I go. Chris is asking me, how long before you see your new PDP-11? PDP-11 was an old digital mainframe, mini computer back in the day. I actually owned one of these at one point, and somebody decided they wanted it more than I did. And I mean, the thing was loud as hell. So every time I turned it on, my wife was complaining about the noise. Didn't matter where she was in the house. So somebody wanted it, and I sold it, but I would have still had it otherwise. Nice. Because it's a classic. It was the first big computer I worked on.
Very cool. Well, we're 3 minutes after. I just want to say thank you for everyone for joining us on our 100th live, and for questions and answers and sharing some little bit off the topics today. It was a good time. I needed this. I was a little stressed for work, so thank you for Happy Hump Day and allowing me to spend this time with you. Roger, Steve, you guys want anything to say on the closeout?
No. Have a good week, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'll see you next week, and actually, I'll still be here next week. So,
still.
All right, Roger, enjoy your time in Mexico. Enjoy the weather, and have a drink for us, please.
Oh, I'll absolutely do that. All right, see you all next week.
Bye.
I did used to have a card reader. Ciao.